The Montreal Canadiens faced off against the Philadelphia Flyers last night. This was an extremely important game and one that the Montreal Canadiens should have won. I'm not going to do this video like I usually do. I'm going to let you know right off the bat that the Montreal Canadiens lost last night. It was an embarrassing loss. They didn't play well, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Let's talk about it.
So far, just the one call thus.
Yeah, the game last night was not a good game. Painful. The odds were stacked against us a little bit. I joke around a little bit about this, but if it keeps happening, is it really a joke? Seems like when the Montreal Canadiens face a team with a former teammate, they seem to do bad, and the former teammate seems to do well. Seems also like when a team is on an epic losing streak, Montreal's the team to break that streak. And it seems like all over in the NHL, when a new coach joins the team, they get the new coach boost. And John Tortorella was fired yesterday. That's 3 strikes. We should have seen this coming all along, or at least until yesterday. It was really painful, but what takes some of the pain away is you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for your feedback about the t-shirt designs that I recently put out. You guys are the best. I'll never stop saying it. I'll shout it from the rooftops. And your comments after the game last night, I can't remember who it is, but I'll put it up here somewhere. Those comments cheer me up. Keep coming with those comments. So let's recap the game. I'm going to go through this really quickly, but we have to start where we always start. La formation de départ, starting lineup. We got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slav, Roy, Newhook, Laine, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Heineman, Evans, Armia. On defense, Matheson and Carrier, Struble, Hudson, Xhekaj, Savard, and finally, in net, making a return to net, Dobesh. So we get things started off, and it really doesn't take long before the Philadelphia Flyers strike first.
Don't connect, he kicks the puck back behind the Montreal net. Couturier gets there to connect, hit from Michkov.
This is a lazy play and a puck-watching play by Joshua Roy. I'm not going to break this down fully, but essentially what happens here is Struble doesn't get on his man. Carrier comes in to help when he should have been watching his man, and Roy is just sitting around in back of the net with his finger up his butt. Tic-tac-toe, this gets to Michkov, 1-0 Philadelphia. But after that goal, there was some temporary relief on behalf of our Newfoundland boy, Alex Newhook. That's right. We're going to be growing his eyebrows. This is a pure play by Newhook. He goes straight down center ice, puts it in, no problem.
You're
really hoping that that little goal by Newhook would create some energy, would create some momentum. And the forward team does look woken up. I think that it was the defensive team that just the entire night, really. About 3 minutes after Newhook's goal, this happens. Nick Deslauriers, a former Montreal Canadien. Of course, it would be a former player, but this guy's on the 4th line, right? This was the 4th line. Savard, you're stuck holding the bag on this one, buddy. I think Xhekaj did a good job of tying up his guy, but Savard didn't do the assignment. Puck gets leaked out in front, of course. If it's not the puck getting leaked out in front from behind the net, it's from the corner, and there's just a guy standing out there all by himself. It just keeps happening over and over. This is becoming a coaching problem, St. Louis. They know what they have to do. Why aren't they doing it? And you know what? They're not done yet.
He waits, takes a look, Beltier now drops it off. Here's Michkov for a shot, score!
This is a little bit tougher. I think you really wanted to see Xhekaj and Savard pinch Michkov on this one. It was later rewarded to Couturier, who does get a piece of it in front. But yeah, it looked like there was a lot of traffic in front. We were hoping maybe Dobesh would get a piece of this and stop it, but it does get through. This is kind of an unfortunate goal. I don't know how critical you want to be of this one, but that's going to do it for the first period. Second period, Montreal, they try to show some signs of life and clean up some of their act. I'm sure they had a spirited discussion in the dressing room after the first period, but after 2 periods, it remains the same score, 3-1 for Philadelphia. Things change a lot in the third period, but not necessarily better. And it is really a continuation of the first period. Montreal lets up a bunch of goals. The only change is that the forward group start to produce. This is going to be a lightning round. Let's go through the goals here. Cole Caulfield scores his 34th of the season. Struble and Hudson assist on this one. This was Hudson's second assist of the game, his 51st assist of the season. Then Tyson Foerster scores. This was a sketchy one, actually. I have to talk about this one. There was interference in the crease. They sent this off to coach's challenge, and it was deemed a good goal anyway. Really losing the plot on goalie interference. It used to be that if you had your foot in the crease and you're touching the goaltender, it's immediately interference, but they've gone back on that, and they kind of flip-flop back and forth. So it needs to be contact, and the contact has to impede the goaltender from making the save, which if you could debate that this was that, who knows what he could have done. It's a different universe, right? So I'm done trying to hold the referees accountable on it. If the NHL doesn't want to do it, then whatever. John Couturier scores, making it 5-2 for Philadelphia. This was only a couple of minutes later, and it was due to the coach's challenge, making it even more painful. Less than 2 minutes after that, Christian Dvorak scores, making it 5-3 for Philadelphia. But then only a couple of minutes after that, Matvei Michkov gets sent down the ice, 6-3 for Philadelphia. And finally, Patty Laine puts one in with about 3 minutes left, giving a slight glimmer of hope, but nothing else would happen after this. A really disappointing, discouraging, bad game for Montreal. Weak, soft game, at least soft defensively. Mike Matheson, you can blame 2 goals on him easily. You could blame 2 on Dobesh, honestly. 2 of those goals were pretty weak. So if it were the other 2 goals, which were both bad goals as well defensively, that's fine, because Montreal was able to get 4 goals this game. The offense at least held up their end of the bargain. You could say that that is a silver lining. And I don't discredit any of those guys, especially Newhook, for putting his best foot forward, getting that first goal, breaking the ice for Montreal. But this was just, it didn't have the urgency. The game didn't have the urgency that Montreal needed to demonstrate. So it was a rough one. That's why I went to bed last night. I was going to make the video last night, especially when they came back within 2. But it's just a game that I don't want to relive. It's another fertilizer game, but how many fertilizer games can you have, St. Louis? The quote is, it's a game that we want to put past us. It's a fertilizer game, meaning that you take this loss and you try to use what you've learned from that loss to grow something bigger. So I guess tonight, let's see how they do against the Carolina Hurricane with that mentality. I'm not saying they can't do it against the Hurricane tonight. I'm just saying that they look really bad out there, and if they give the same performance, if they're not putting in the work, if they're not putting in the grind, and especially watching the details defensively, it's the same thing's going to happen tonight. Maybe worse. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Please like the video. Helps me out with something or other. Subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the community. And I'm sorry for the tone of this video. It's just, what do I do with this? I know this isn't like me. I'm supposed to always have like a bright composition. Positivity, right? Positive. And I am positive about this group. So much to be positive about. Exciting team. Exciting prospects for the future, and they're still in the running. They're still in a wild card spot despite their worst efforts. Let me know what you're thinking, guys. I will see you down in the comments.